Hello friends, welcome to this video tutorial. My name is Sagar. In previous video, we deployed Kubernetes cluster in Azure successfully. And before we can proceed to performing steps in this video, I highly recommend to go over the deployment video from previous session so that we can perform steps outlined in this video here. We are going to cover Azure Monitor for clusters here in this video. Monitoring your container is very critical, especially when you are running in a production cluster at scale with multiple applications. So let's head back to the Azure Portal and see the AKS cluster that we had deployed in our previous session. So if we can go back and check the resource groups here, you would see the resource group sagar_rg where you have Kubernetes cluster deployed and running successfully here. In the left pane here, you will see a monitor tab, and if I go inside that, again in the navigation pane here under the insights, you will see an option of containers. I'm going to click on that, and you would see two sections: monitor clusters and non-monitor clusters, and you can see the one count. This is nothing but the AKS cluster that we had deployed in our previous session, and it gives ability to do the enabling of the monitor, which I'm going to click it now. It will take you to a page which will help you to enable it using the GUI, but we're going to do the same steps using AZCLI commands. So let's see how to enable this using AZCLI. You can always do this while you are creating a new AKS engine cluster, AKS cluster itself by mentioning enable-addons monitoring, and this will do the work while you are creating the AKS cluster itself. But since in our scenario we have an existing Kubernetes cluster, we can still do the same thing by enabling the monitoring add-on by specifying these parameters on this AKS cluster. Which is available under the resource group sagar_rg. So I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to start it behind the scenes, and we'll come back and see what exactly it does behind the scenes for us. Going back to the Azure Cloud Shell, to paste this thing. So the command is AKS enable-addons of monitoring for the AKS cluster Sagar Kubernetes, which is available under resource group sagar_rg. I'm going to execute this now, and it will immediately show that it is going to start the monitoring on that, and it will perform all the required steps to ensure monitoring is added. Alright, it is running right now. So what this step is performing for us, it's going to create a default resource group for us, which is under the same subscription as the resource group exists. It's going to add the container inside solutions, which is required for the log analytics workspace, and it will place this container inside solution as well as this log analytics workspace into this default resource group, and ultimately it's going to enable this monitoring add-on for the AKS cluster and associate it with this log analytics workspace that it is going to create it for us. We can also perform all these steps if we have our existing log analytics workspace as well, where we can specify the log analytics workspace as part of this command itself. That if we just perform this step as we just did right now, it's going to take care of doing all of these things for us. So let's go back and check what is happening right now. Alright, so the command has successfully completed, and if I head back over to the container monitors here and switch back from applications and come back into the container, you would see that from the non-monitor cluster it has changed to monitor cluster now. And if I click on this Sagar Kubernetes here, it will start showing up the node CPU utilization. It will take some time because we just enabled it, so it is going to take a couple of minutes, and then it will start showing you the health of this cluster. Heading back to the resource group pane, you would see the resource group default resource group that is created here, and the container insight solution, and the log analytics workspace that has been created for the enabling the monitoring add-on. So the steps that we outlined are completed here, and monitoring is added into the KTS. Going back to the containers here, let's see if it is enough time for this container to show up the data. Not yet, so it is going to take some time to show the data here, but eventually you will see the node CPU utilization, all the data showing up here. Let's give it another 2 minutes and see the data will start showing up here. All right, as you can see right now, the average usage node CPU utilization is started showing up in this AKS monitoring, and then once you go into the node section, you will also start seeing the 2 nodes that we configured as part of this AKS cluster and the status of it. So it basically enabled monitoring of your AKS cluster through this Azure monitor system. You can eventually tilt down into the controller level as well as the container level as well to see what all containers that has been deployed, and you can see when we enable the monitoring, it installed something called omsagent of Linux on this AKS nodes. We can also verify the same thing by executing kubectl command to see how many omsagent has been installed, and it will also tell you through the Azure Cloud Shell. I'm going to execute this command here, and you will see that the 2 such omsagent has been installed and are ready and telemetering data into this Azure monitor. Right. So this is pretty much how we can enable the Azure monitor for containers. Thanks for watching this video. Feel free to put comments, and if you have any questions in the down area, I'm going to also share all these commands in the description area, so feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for watching this video.